How democratic was Alija Izetbegovic's government? How democratic was Alija Izetbegovic's government? This question takes us back to a challenging period in Southeast European history. Alija Izetbegovic became a prominent figure after Bosnia and Herzegovina held its first multi-party elections in 1990. He led the Party of Democratic Action, which won a significant number of seats in the Bosnian parliament and the presidency. This marked a shift toward democracy after years of communist rule. The founding documents of his party highlighted a commitment to freedom, democracy, equality, human rights, and the rule of law. These principles were meant to reflect a formal embrace of democratic governance. However, Izetbegovic's leadership occurred during a time of intense political and ethnic tensions. The disintegration of Yugoslavia led to the Bosnian War from 1992 to 1995, complicating the democratic landscape. During the war, Izetbegovic's government was the only internationally recognized authority in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It faced aggression and ethnic cleansing campaigns from Serb and Croat forces. Despite these challenges, Izetbegovic's government worked to uphold human rights and punish where crimes committed by its own ranks. This approach aimed to maintain a civil order in a chaotic environment and earned him respect both regionally and internationally. However, the wartime conditions severely limited the functioning of democratic institutions. The government had to balance military defense with political leadership, which restricted normal democratic processes. Even so, Izetbegovic held a vision for a democratic, multi-ethnic Bosnia. He promoted coexistence among Bosniaks, Serbs, and Croats, striving to unite diverse groups rather than impose any single ideology. Izetbegovic also engaged in efforts to negotiate peace, particularly through the Dayton Accords. These accords aimed to establish a framework for peace and democracy in the post-war period. Critics often point to Izetbegovic's earlier writings, such as the Islamic Declaration, where he discussed Islamic governance. However, these ideas were not implemented as government policy in Bosnia, which was a multi-ethnic and multi-religious society. In summary, Alija Izetbegovic's government was democratic in its foundation and intentions. It was committed to multi-party elections, human rights, and the rule of law. Yet, the extreme wartime environment and ethnic conflict imposed significant constraints on democratic governance. His leadership is often viewed as a defense of Bosnia's sovereignty and democratic ideals against forces seeking division and authoritarian control.